Hello and welcome to the history of the Ghostbusters. Today's episode we're going to be covering the Ghostbusters equipment, and here we go. The Containment Unit, also known as the Ecto-Containment System, storage facility, or protection grid, is located in the basement of the Firehouse. It is a large, laser-confined grid that holds and restrains all the vapors and entities that the Ghostbusters trap. In 1984, the Containment Unit was constructed in the Firehouse. It took up most of the basement, which was walled off to create space, in which the captured ghosts could be incarcerated, leaving only a relatively small portion of the basement accessible, as well as the main power supplies and monitoring equipment. The most prominent feature of the containment system was the airlock through which the ghosts were transferred into the unit from traps. A few weeks after the Ghostbusters was founded, the newly hired Winston Zeddemore was taken down to the basement to empty traps into the containment unit. Ray Stantz briefly informed Winston about the unit and taught him the proper procedure on how to empty a trap into it. Eventually, the EPA inspector Walter Peck visited the Firehouse due to concerns about the presence of dangers and potentially harmful waste chemicals that the storage facility might be producing. When he failed to convince Dr. Vakeman to show him the storage facility, he returned with a search warrant and police escort. After ignoring Egon's repeated warnings about the dangers of shutting down the containment unit, Peck ordered a Con Edison electrician to shut down the power supply to the grid. Almost immediately, it became apparent that Egon's warnings were not exaggerated, as the whole unit began to rumble and cracks began to appear in the restraining wall before the entire blocks were blown out, prompting all present to flee. Ultimately, the vast amount of psychokinetic energy released from the system was enough to punch through all 3 stories of the roof of the Firehouse. Next up, the Ecto Goggles, often seen on Ray Stantz's belt. The Ecto Goggles are designed to allow the wearer to see invisible ghosts and visually track PKE variances. The Ecto Goggles first appeared on the Sedgwick Hotel on the Ghostbusters' first case, and were mainly worn by Ray. Egon and Peter did, however, wear them briefly in the montage. Ghostbusters too. The Ecto Goggles were worn a few times by Ray. They are used by Ray when he and Peter Venkman go on a stakeout to catch the Jogger Ghost. The Ecto Goggles are capable of tracking down a specific entity by the psychokinetic energy it emits. They are also equipped with night vision that can allow the sight of a ghost that has rendered itself invisible to the naked eye. The Ghost Sniffer. The Ghost Sniffer was said by Peter Venkman to be one of their little toys. However, this device samples the air for ghost activity, as it is a form of detection equipment. In reality, it is a Baronock Model 300 sniffer consumable gas detecting device. The Ghost Sniffer device was used twice during the Gozer incident of 1984, once with Ray Stantz in the ad "We're Ready to Believe You," and with Peter checking out Dana's apartment. When Dana asked if he was using the device correctly, he was not 100% sure. The Ghost Trap. The trap is a sealed container that allows the Ghostbusters to transport the spirits to the containment unit, where they would be released into the grid. It is unclear what happens to the trap once it is placed inside the grid, though some have theorized that when a captured ghost is put into the containment unit, the entity is pumped out of the trap cartridges so it can be used again. Once a trap has captured a ghost and it is closed, it cannot be reopened without releasing the ghost contained within. For this reason, the Ghostbusters must carry several traps. Normally, Proton Packs used in conjunction with the trap to position a ghost for capture. However, in special cases such as the Jogger Ghost that was moving on a predictable path, all the Ghostbusters had to do was place a trap on that path and open it the instant he was stepping over it to capture him. The Proton Pack. The Proton Pack is the primary ghost capturing device used by the Ghostbusters. Designed in 1984 by Egon Spengler and Ray Stantz, the Proton Pack counters the negative energy which the ghosts are made of with a proton stream, a stream of positively charged ions which can harness a ghost. The proton streams is very dangerous and barely controllable. Egon has also mentioned that crossing the proton streams will result in a total protonic reversal, causing all life as we know to stop instantaneously and every molecule in the user's body to explode at the speed of light. light. The Proton Packs are nuclear powered. The power cells of the Proton Pack have a half-life of 5,000 years. The Proton Packs are special for they are the only piece of technology in the world that has the ability to strip electrons away from protons. It has a handheld wand known as the Neutrola wand, also called a proton gun or particle thrower, connected to a backpack-sized particle accelerator. The Proton Pack, also referred to as a charged particle accelerator, functions by using a miniature cyclotron to concentrate protons by channeling through a positron collider and then to the Neutrola wand, emitting wave-fire positronic ion streams of proton energy that polarizes with the negatively charged ectoplasmic entities, which held them in the stream while active even if they are out of phase with reality. In practical terms, the proton gun fires a stream of energy that allows the wielder to snare a ghost. The stream reacts to the ghost's energy and uses the energy to hold the ghost in place so that it can be positioned above the trap for capture. Even if a ghost becomes invisible or intangible, their negative energy still exists, though it is slightly out of phase with normal reality. The positron stream neutralizes their invisibility or phase shift ability, then forces them back into sync with our reality and holds them in place for capture. The Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty was animated in Ghostbusters 2 by positively charged psychomagnetheric slime. The Statue of Liberty was used by the team to make an entrance to the slime-covered museum, where Vigo was about to be reborn. While huddled in the Ecto 1A, the Ghostbusters saw the Statue of Liberty's image on the Ecto's license plate. After Ray Stantz and Winston Zeddemore coated the interior with positively charged psychomagnetheric slime, the team utilized music as they did with the toaster to animate it. The statue surfaced near Pier 34 where the Titanic recently appeared, and were escorted by the police to the Museum of Art. After the Ghostbusters entered the building, the Statue of Liberty collapsed, and is seen lying on the ground. Nevertheless, when the Ghostbusters are being honored by the city, the Statue of Liberty is back in place on Liberty Island. Background information. Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis originally conceived the idea of the Statue of Liberty as the force of evil used by Vigo. Out of respect to the statue, it was decided that she would be a positive influence. Bringing the statue to life took some doing. Miniatures, a large head sculpture for close-up shots, a costume worn by Jim Fye for full-length views, and large-scale, full-scale set pieces such as water tanks were used. A real-sized foot and a standard 8-inch car were used for the scenes when the statue steps on the police car. Hey, thank you for watching the history of the Ghostbusters. Special thanks to the Ghostbuster Wiki for all information you heard today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you can. If you have, I thank you. Special thanks to the Patreons. You guys are awesome. Thank you. And have a great day. Bye-bye.